Thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel. This is a way of life with Quava. Basically, um, this channel is about my views. It's about my spiritual journey. I believe we're all put here for spiritual purpose, and we all have spiritual gifts. I'll tell you a little bit on why I woke up. Um, I did a DNA test on Ancestry.com. This was the first step of me finding my path and finding my way of life. A lot of times we go through life and we just don't fit in, don't find our path. Um, I was a Christian for a long time, and I don't know if it was just tradition or it was forced upon me. But as I got older, I studied different religions, and I did this DNA test, and it opened my eyes who my ancestors were. And it came back that I was 64% European Wales in Northwestern Europe. And in that area, it was Celts, it was Vikings, it was Saxons, and, the Romans conquered it. Uh, One thing that we can agree on is that the Vikings and the Saxons worshiped the same gods, whether it was Odin or Woden. Um, Also, I had Denmark in there, Sweden, Norway. Um, Most of my ancestors were pagans, and it really opened my eyes when I started studying and digging into it that the days of the week are actually named after pagans, uh, pagan gods and goddesses. We celebrate pagan holidays, Christmas, Easter, um, Halloween, um, and the Christians stole that from us, and just not knocking or bashing any Christian, but uh, I never felt what I felt when I began on this belief system. I don't say a religion because it's a way of life, it's a belief system. Uh, some people that follow different aspects of it are part of religious practices, but I'm a solitary practitioner, if I said that right. Um, and one thing I loved about it is no rules. Like, it's no, like, you can worship how you want. The first time I gave my oath to Odin, I felt the feeling like no other. The first time I did a ritual, I felt the feeling like no other, knowing I was worshiping, sorry, um, the same gods that my ancestors worship. Um, that really inspired me. That really touched something for me because, I come from a bloodline, a lineage of witches, warlords, medicine men, great warriors, sorcerers, just people of heavy spirituality and great warriors. Now, that being said, um, my whole life, I always tried to find somewhere to fit in. And when you first have knowledge of self, that is when you can go and begin your journey and start to know who the higher power is. Start to know the law of one. And uh, the law of one is just basically we are all connected natures, trees, birds, you, me, black, white, Asian, Chinese, Puerto Rican, Mexican, whatever you want to call yourself. We are all connected to the supreme divine power, divine being. And this is what Spirit wanted me to find. Spirit wanted me, sorry, it was a bug over there, but that was Spirit. That was a sign. No, I'm playing. But every day just walking out my door knowing that the gods and goddesses are with me, that nature spirits are with me. I have nothing to fear, but my wife. Nah, I'm playing. But that's a good feeling, that I'm always protected. And It's a mass awakening going on right now all over the world. People are waking up. It don't matter what spiritual path you follow, as long as you believe in that law of one. And even like my kids are waking up and they're so young, you know. If I woke up way back then, my life would be a whole lot different. But one thing we can say is never too late, and I'm still young. Um, but I was brought here to help somebody else along their spiritual journey. Somebody else needed to hear this message. Somebody else need to find their self and have knowledge of self and find out who their ancestors are. And when you call on your ancestors, they will come. They will come. The beauty of paganism is it's no rules. Like it's no like 10 commandments. I mean, we do have 9 noble virtues, but that's I probably shouldn't even said that. But it's it's no rules, you know. You are a free thinker. You are a individual, and we live by principles. We live by morals. We live by values. And we never back down, man. And I'm excited to share my journey with you, and uh, just everything that I'm going through and I will go through. I'm new to this. You know, when I first got interested in paganism, I started YouTube with people, and one person I came across was Jacob, the wisdom of Odin. Shout out Jacob. He's awesome. He has a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom to give on the way of life, and this belief system. And I'm very passionate about it because it brought me discipline. It brought me peace. And to see other people are waking up with this belief system all over the world and all over the country is very powerful. And also, I want to say something. Just because I'm Norse Pegan doesn't mean it's white supremacy. That was stolen by some people that have nothing to do with what we believe in. We promote peace and love, and that's it, you know. But we don't back down. I think that a lot of people, this is not going to stop. But we're in troubled times and we're in unfamiliar times. And it's going to be a lot of stuff happening over these next course of months, years, who knows. But what I do know is you better get right. They say that only a fool despises wisdom. You know, if you despise wisdom, you're a fool. Why wouldn't you want to level up and grow? Why wouldn't you want to seek knowledge and become more divine and level up in consciousness? Your true self. That's all that matters. Is your true self. You know, you gotta identify who you are and what you want to believe and how you want to live your life, and the gods will make everything possible. I promise you, it's the best feeling in the world. And just, I'm glad to be a part of this community. I'm glad to be a part of this great knowledge that was left for us. My first book that I bought was the Poetic Etica. This right here is full of knowledge, I mean, it's not like a Bible or anything like that, but it's just like paganism, Norse paganism gold. I definitely recommend it. Somebody recommended it to me. But, you know, just the base of this first video is how I found Norse paganism. Sorry, I got a little tongue tied. But how I found Norse paganism, and you know, doing the DNA test, and then Odin came to me in the dream in the field. This was destiny. This was my ancestors speaking to me. And you know, my whole life, my mom always told me I was Puerto Rican and Irish, you know, And then when I got the DNA test back, and I learned that it was a whole way of life and a whole belief system tied to my ancestors, that woke me up, and I wanted to know more. I wanted to know everything and meet different people along this journey. And I'm just glad to share my journey with you. It's just a beautiful time right now. My twin flame, she's woke. My kids are waking up. People are waking up all over the world. It doesn't matter the path you follow as long as you end up at the same destination. And I just want to say thank everybody for tuning in. And until the next video, Skull.